How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well.
You're in a very beautiful location today.
I am. I'm sitting at the Sofitel in Brisbane. I've got a meeting at 9 o'clock, so I thought I'd get in early and run the session here. There's this weird mirror behind me. Apologies for that.
Oh no, I like it a lot.
And how have
I'm
you
just
been?
sitting. Great, thank you very much. And how topical that we're discussing celebrating your wins today. And I celebrated a little too much last night, my wins.
Oh, seriously? That's
Yeah,
too funny. What wins were you
yeah.
celebrating this week?
Well, it was our last meetup of the year, and I was wonderful. I had a great night, and then celebrating an award that I won yesterday.
That is
So
phenomenal.
I know that's what I had another drink for after. So I ended up with 2 wines that it might have even stretched to 3.
Me too, a
And
glass of wine. Now I can see you.
right, okay, so I've just got all that going in.
That's exciting. So yeah, I think it's a good time. I mean, it's our second last chat for the year, I think, isn't it? Because the week after is Christmas.
Yeah, how exciting.
It's so
Okay,
exciting.
I've just made a little mistake, Jenny. So I'm sorry, I'm just holding us up a little because I just went to put it onto my personal and not onto, I'll just click on stop
It's all
live.
good. Hello, everyone who's joining us today. It's great to see you here again. We love these chats, and I'm excited to talk about celebrating things today and why it's so important in your business to celebrate things. Crazy hair today too.
It's lovely. It's a beautiful color, Jenny.
Oh, it's because I got my roots done.
For your birthday. I love it.
You gotta love the girliness of it, right? Though.
Yeah, someone just said to me the other day, oh, I was one of my husband's carers, and she just shaved all her hair off. And
Wow.
because the truth is, I realized whoever would want to sit in a salon for a few hours, and I'm like, me.
I love it. And I have the most wonderful hairdresser, so she's fabulous. So it's always good. She squeezed me in to make sure I could get it done for my birthday. So it was very lovely.
Mine is one of my close friends. And so we always make it on a Saturday afternoon so we can have a wine afterwards.
Which is good. My hairdresser provides me wine and cheese.
Oh, that's very nice.
A glass of wine and some cheese. But yeah, so it's funny because we just talk things like, when we're talking about customer service and customer experience and how you make people feel and how you can actually encourage people, to feel part of the community and part of your business is, I sit down, my daughter was sitting next to me on her iPhone, they're giving her little wine and cheese platter, a cheese platter with a glass of orange juice in a beautiful glass. And I have a glass of wine and cheese, and just makes you feel like you want to sit there. And it's such a beautiful experience. And that's what we're trying to create with all our clients, but they just take hairdressing to a different space.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's great. I'm just putting it into
the chat. Yep.
There, and oopsie.
So while we're having, Kylie's setting up, for those who are on today, if you would like to put it, I'd love in the Q&A for you to let me know how you celebrate, because I'd love to chat about a little bit more about that in terms of how you celebrate wins in your business, or actually not even just wins, how you celebrate in your business. Do you celebrate with your clients? Do you celebrate with your staff or your team, with your family? Or do you kind of hold everything quietly and just kind of go, oh yeah, it was a good week, and kind of just let it pass? Because for me, as a business owner, one of the most important things is that, let's celebrate. But before we get into that, I know we're now live, Kylie. So would you like to introduce us this week?
Sure, what, Jenny? So hello and welcome to Bite Size Conversations. 30 minutes that I get to spend with Jenny Walk from Elephant in the Room Consulting every week, and I really look forward to it and I really enjoy it. So Jenny and I have been business besties for about a year now since we met.
I know.
Just over. And we've done so many collaborations, and we've been guest speakers at each other's meetups and all kinds of work that we do together and really enjoy it. I'm also in a group coaching program because I love what Jenny has to offer. So, and I'm Kylie Mowbray from Hello Media. We'll tell you a little bit later about how you can connect up with us. But in the meantime, our topic of the day is how to, or do you celebrate wins in your business, and what even constitutes a win? So we'd love you to join us and put your questions in the chat, and we will get back to you. And tell me, Jenny, first of all, have you got a win that you're celebrating right now, other than the fact that it's your birthday?
Other than it's my birthday. I know, that's pretty awesome. What I think for me, a really great win is, and I was reflecting on this recently, is that it's my 4th year as a business owner. So this is to have actually survived the last 4 years with everything that's been going on, to start the company, kind of by accident, essentially, as an accidental business owner. And then all of a sudden to be growing and growing and growing, and to actually have been able to grow this year during COVID has been a phenomenal opportunity for me to kind of live through experience, but also it's an absolute incredible win. Like, everybody this year has been celebrating, or has been kind of worried about what's been happening and that kind of doom and gloom feeling. Yet, if we actually just embrace the environment we're in, embrace the context, then you just can always find wins. So for me, the win is the fact that I'm 4 years into business and we're thriving, and we've had probably our best year yet in 2020.
That is so awesome. And I'm so super proud of you. And what an achievement. It's amazing when businesses have survived through this year, let alone thrived, which is...
And I know you've thrived this year. I mean, your little award this week has been about you thriving and you actually creating such a great business, and you've really pivoted and really embraced COVID in a different way too, and really kind of lent into the support that you can provide your clients through digital marketing, or through marketing, online, and all the different platforms, and really helping them survive as well. So that's got to be a win you're celebrating.
Yeah, it feels amazing, Jenny. And I was just having this chat with my husband last night. And so I did a 4-hour workshop, as you know, because we did it together yesterday. Yes. On our 2021 sales strategy, and looking at where we've been and where we're headed and all that. So I was discussing it with my husband last night. And I was already on a high because we had our last meetup of the night for Positive, Passionate Women in Business, and it was absolutely wonderful. So then I was chatting with him after, and he said, what do you reckon is like the one thing, if you just had to name one thing that made this year such an amazing year for growth for you? And then he said, oh, don't tell me, I know what it is. It's free. It's that you put yourself out there more, giving free. And I said, absolutely, I completely agree with you. So as soon as COVID hit is when I started my first lot of free webinars, and I was doing 2 a week then, and it was just amazing. More and more and more people were coming, and people were letting other people know, come along. It's this amazing information that she's sharing and really helping you pivot your business. And of course, it just grew. And then, as you know, the know, like, and trust factor, for some reason, whatever reason, some people liked me and decided that they then wanted to work with me.
Very likable though, Kylie.
Thanks. It just grew and grew from there. And so what has been a huge win for me has been my clients' wins. Yeah. I've had, particularly in the last 2 weeks, where they've just come forward and said, wow, things have happened that have just been mind-blowing. So I've been incredibly proud of what I've been able to do to help them, but then how empowered they are to go and do it themselves. It's just been super awesome.
What I love about your growth in the last year is that when you're doing your digital marketing, we had a conversation, I think, kind of indirectly about this a couple of weeks ago, and the fact that digital marketing generally is not, you can get some quick wins, but it's a slow burn sometimes. So you need to do that over time. And you are the example of what you do when you are consistent in when you consistently, deliver service and value, either online or whatever platform you're using. You're doing that on a regular basis. It's always growing and the value is increasing, and there's always something people can get out of it. When you're consistent in what you do, great things happen. And it's that kind of, old Paul Kelly song, from little things, big things grow. And you have to be consistent. You have to keep watering your plants. You have to keep fertilizing. You have to keep making sure that all the, you keep the bugs away, and that you kind of protect yourself. And you do that. And what happens is you grow into this beautiful, incredible business that you've got. And as I'm growing into, I'm a bit younger than you are in terms of the business journey. But for me, the lessons are about that consistency, isn't it? And so you have to celebrate those consistencies. I think we often get a bit complacent about, I just do that. It's okay. I just do this. But I'm like, you should be celebrating. You've done what 100 webinars this year, at least.
At least. Actually, I should count up because it has been amazing. My husband is taking me out tonight for a special seafood banquet, something
Sounds amazing.
Organized. I know. And he's not one much to celebrate his own awesomeness. So I said, well, let's not just celebrate what I've done, but wow, you've had an incredible business. So I know I've mentioned it to you before. Him and I both run a not-for-profit called the Bangalore Lionhearts. And so I'm going to remind him that we're celebrating that tonight, because we have fed hundreds of people this year. We've given out literally, well, probably a good 1,000+ meals. And
Wow.
he also grows an extraordinary amount of vegetables. So he has been sharing them with different community organizations and homeless shelters and all kinds of things. And then, of course, they turn them into other things. And it has been amazing to watch him, and I'm super proud. And for those of you that don't know, my husband is a quadriplegic, paralyzed from the neck down. So what he's achieving is just extraordinary, and his help to our community and on the North Coast here is wonderful. So I feel like tonight we're celebrating a lot.
We are celebrating a lot. I think also one of the conversations we should also be talking about is how we can celebrate wins and the different ways we can celebrate wins, because we're talking about, outwardly congratulating, going for beautiful dinners, but there are the little ways that in your business you can celebrate your wins. And it could be just all team email saying, hey, this is what we've achieved this last quarter, or it could be sitting down at morning tea with a cup of coffee and saying, I really appreciate what you've done this week, or you've done in the last day with that client. And we often forget to do those kind of small, not congratulations, and it's not about boosting people up and puffing our egos up. It's really just about recognizing the impact we're having in our business, in our clients, and on each other.
Yes, Jenny. And as you were speaking, then I just thought, I must ask you what you do, but this is what I do. I literally sit here and feel like it's I'll just get off a Zoom and a new client just said, yes, please, I really, really want to work with you. And, they'll sign up for my coaching program. And then I'll literally sit there and go, yes, like I'm so excited because it's someone that I really want to work with. And that's super, super exciting. So
I call my partner. I call Michael and be like, yeah, I got a new client. I get really excited because you get the opportunity to learn so much when you find new clients. And that's what I love about it. So I celebrate the opportunity of what I'm going to learn and how I'm going to help them grow their business or serve them. That's what makes me excited. And so that's what I celebrate, rather than the specific nature of the fact that I'm getting a client in itself.
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, isn't it true that you and I both are so lucky that the different people and the different types of businesses that we get to work with is just amazing. So I was discussing last night with someone that a lot of people in our kind of industry specialize in one area. So you might be a business coach or business consulting just for the health industry or just for the fitness industry, for example. But in one day, I could work with someone in a works something to do with horses on a farm. The next person works with plastic surgeons. The next person worked with as a copywriter. Like, there's just so many different diverse things, and it's amazing. I love it, and it means that I'm constantly learning.
And that's what I write content. I write copy for people as a bit of I do it actually for a passion project, as opposed to because it's lots of fun sometimes, but I get to actually lean into other people's businesses and learn about who they are and their language and their values and what they're trying to achieve. And I always find myself learning about my own business every time I do that, because the only way you can write for someone else is to really understand and know who they are and understand where they're coming from, what they're trying to achieve. So I've got 4 or 5 clients that I currently write content for. And so every time I'm doing that, I'm leaning and thinking, well, how would they say this? And what would their clients like to hear? And there's such a different perspective every time. And I've got a water purifier, I've got a yoga instructor, I have and a health coach. I think there's a product-based business, and then there's someone who's promoting a tiny house community in New Zealand. So there's this incredible kind of opportunity to share knowledge and share ideas, and for me to learn more about what I do through them.
And how do you encourage your clients to celebrate those wins?
Really, really good question. So I actually invite people to actually put in their diary, because I'm all about scheduling and planning your week out. And I actually invite people to put 20 to 30 minutes in their diary every week to reflect on what they've done that week, what went really well and what maybe needs to be improved, because a win is actually recognizing what you did wrong. or what you didn't do so well. So sometimes we only think of the positive part of win. But for me, being able to reflect on what went really well in the business, what didn't go really well in the business, and what we want to change, that opportunity in that space is actually a win, because it means that you can grow your business in a different way. So that's how I encourage them to do it every single week, just to take a moment to think, what have I done really well and what should I be celebrating? Because what happens is you actually create momentum and connection with the work you're doing. And you actually, sometimes as a small business owner, you don't have other people around you to say, hey, good job, patting you on the back because they're in the office. But it actually encourages you to do that yourself.
Absolutely, doesn't it just? Do you know, some of my days of my best wins are when I actually just get to the end of my to-do list. Yes. And that definitely needs a little celebration. And I'll go in and say to Clover, it won't be the new client or something. I'll literally walk in and go, Clover, I just feel like a hero today. I got through my to-do list. And she's like, good job, Mum. Good job.
Exactly. And it's those things that actually keep us interested in the work we do and encourage us ourselves. And one of the things from a previous life, I used to do a lot of work with psychometric testing companies and helping people identify what motivates people. And I think what's wonderful about celebrating wins is we get motivated by so many different things. And I know people, and I have clients who are only focused on financial gain. And that's okay. They're actually motivated by growing abundance and growing financial stability. And so for them, every time they get a client, every time they, their investment goes up or whatever it is, they celebrate that because that's leading them towards their long-term goal. Other clients that I've worked with are actually motivated by that reward factor and motivated by having a client say, good job, thank you so much, or sending them a testimonial. And then there are others who are actually just motivated by the actual doing of the work. And like you said, finishing the to-do list. They're motivated by progress. So one of the things I always encourage my clients to do, and people that I work with, to say, what motivates you? And tell people what motivates you, so that it's okay to say, you know what, I'm really motivated by someone telling me I did a good job. And there's nothing wrong with that, because some people would like that. They just want to be recognized. And others say, don't tell anybody, but if you send me a quiet email, that would be really cool. So understanding who the people around you, both your clients and your staff and your team, and saying, hey, how do you like to be rewarded? And how do you like, what motivates you? If you understand that, then you can find different and unique ways to celebrate wins every day.
Such an important point, that we are all so different in the way that we want to be acknowledged, in the way that we want to share. I certainly know some people will straight away put out on Facebook saying, wow, just did my second 6-figure blah blah of the want to share the money that they're bringing in. Other people want to share how many clients they've got, for example, or how many sales they got, or how many products they sold. For me, it's not so much sharing that kind of stuff that I like to do. It's the sharing of the finishing of the to-do list, or the writing of a new course, or something like that, which feels incredibly exciting and like such an achievement when that's done.
I know. I'm just in a hotel. I'm going to put you on mute for 1 second. I apologize.
No problem. So
tell us how you tell your clients to celebrate that we went. I'd be really keen to hear that.
Well, so one of the things I like people to do is to jump into my Facebook group, Hello Media, and to let people know what's happened. Because that way, the Hello Media Facebook group is a beautiful community where we're sharing. And by jumping in there and sharing, then you're getting a lot of beautiful support from the people that are in the group with you, which is really, really special. Also, if you're putting it on your own personal Facebook, and as I said, it looks different to every single person of what kind of a win that they're celebrating. So if it is that they've just launched their website, or that they've just had an amazing week on social media where they're really starting to get visible and really starting to get some amazing engagement, that's a win. So sharing that is so super important. So for me, I'm often saying share it on social media, but also it could be share it in a newsletter. If you've just done something amazing, put it in your newsletter to your peeps and let people know.
But I think it's important for business to celebrate publicly. I think we often forget, and in Australia, it's so easy for us to think about that. We have that kind of tall poppy syndrome where we're worried about sharing publicly. But as businesses, we need to celebrate our growth, and we need to celebrate how we're serving community. So I completely agree with you that it's so important at a business level to promote your success, because when you promote your success, it actually signals to your market you're growing. It signals to your market things are great. I've got great clients, I'm in demand. And at the end of the day, we're all in business, right? We're all wanting to grow our business. That's the ultimate goal for us. And what you want to do with your outcome and your profit is completely up to you, but we still need to grow the business to get there. And so promoting your business is actually, from a psychological perspective, is a really cool way to, it signals to the market, I'm in demand, you need to come and work with me. So the more you tell people, hey, you're growing, and in a true way, not in a kind of fake, hey, I'm awesome kind of way, but in those celebrating of like, hey, I've just launched my website, or I've just launched a new product, or I'm so excited my retreat is full, or hey, come along and join this event because we had such great feedback last time. Sharing that actually tells the market, come and work with me, I'm valuable, and what I provide is valuable. And that's really important because sometimes customers need that validation. And they call that, the law of social proof. That is that idea of we need that validation to know that we're in safe hands. So I think there's that balance of how we celebrate the wins. In the end, what is a win? But how do we celebrate all those moments that we want to actually share with people?
So that's really important to note. And one of the ways that I encourage everybody to do it, and I do it myself twice a week on social media, once a week in a newsletter, and that is, my wins are those little beautiful testimonials that people write. So I call them love notes.
I love that you call them love notes.
I love getting a love note. It's really, really special. So we turn it into a graphic. We have a particular template for it. And then out it goes on social media, because that is sharing my wins, because a win, of course, is getting some beautiful feedback. And so, one of my team will be looking at the Google reviews, the Facebook reviews, also when people share an aha moment in a webinar or something. So we're turning those all into love notes and sharing them. And I encourage all of my clients, and in fact, everybody ever, to always be remembering to share their testimonials and their reviews.
And I say a little love for us, or here's some love for us, rather than using the term testimonial, because testimonial just sounds a little bit like I'm in court and I'm under oath and it's a very formal thing. But we forget that, someone saying thank you is actually a testimonial. We don't recognize those occasional thank yous, and I appreciate your help, and I love being part of your community. All those little words of encouragement help us grow and help other people to go, wow, it's not about necessarily saying you changed my life, but by saying, hey, we're working with you, I just feel in safe hands, or thank you for your support. They're the words that actually encourage people to say, maybe they are the right people to work with. Maybe they will help me grow my business or build my social media profile or my digital marketing profile.
Yes. So I think what I try and do is do at least 2 reviews / testimonials / sharing my thoughts on working with someone, at least 2 a week. So
that's amazing. I'm going to take that.
I'll jump onto TripAdvisor if I've just been out for dinner or something and really enjoyed it, or been, stayed somewhere or something that's been amazing. I jump onto Facebook, and then I'll copy and paste it into Google as well. So I try and always, so that's not counted as 2, that's counted as 1, because it's just for the same one business, but I'll put it in all those different spots. And if I can't find a way to leave them a review, then I'll send them a little email or through Messenger on their Facebook page and just say,
of course,
just want to leave you this review, but couldn't find a place to do it. So here it is. And then they go, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Okay, let me set that up. And then could you be my first, official one that gets left? So I think a lot of people forget how important it is to do that for other businesses. So my challenge to you all for today would be to go out there and leave 2 reviews. So think about some businesses that you've worked with recently. It could even just be a cafe that you get your coffee from, or any experience that you've had where you've really felt that you've enjoyed it and they need a little bit of acknowledgement. Go and leave them a review, give them a little bit of love, and then they'll celebrate that win.
And I think if we take a step back and say, okay, we're at the end of the year, we're about to start the new year. One of the things I would really love to, because as we're wrapping up the year, and some of us are still selling, some of us have closed our books for the year. Some people are, have decided 2020 is done. I'm just looking to 2021. One of the great things to do, and when we're doing business planning, is to actually ask yourself during your planning processes, what are the things that we want to celebrate during the year? So rather than the term about wins, what do we want to celebrate? What are the milestones that we're going to celebrate as a team as we go through our journey? So if your milestone is, I want to have X number of clients, then you might actually put a note in the diary, put a note on your wall, share to the team that actually when we hit 50 clients or 100 clients, or we hit X number of sales a month, if you're an online business, we are going to celebrate. We're going to stop, ring the bell and say, that's amazing, we've achieved something. And so actually planning those in advance gives people little goals along the way to achieve the bigger goal, which is obviously the big business growth. There's lots of little ways that we can plan. So rather than using it as an ad hoc way, as a planner or someone who looks at business strategy and business planning, I would say, what are the small wins we're going to make? It might just be, I'm going to have a meeting with a difficult client that I'm like, oh, how am I going to manage that? When we have that meeting, I'm going to celebrate it. When we sign that particular contract, I'm going to celebrate that. Or when we hit a particular milestone in the business. And then you're actually creating this momentum throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, you can look back on all those milestones that you've achieved and say, wow, look what we did this year, rather than worrying about, oh, I don't have anything to celebrate this week.
That is so good, Jenny. And you know, one of my clients, they're a pizza and pasta restaurant in Byron Bay. And every time somebody puts a tip in the jar, they have this fantastic big old bell that they ring. And then, of course, everyone cheers. And so it's a great way to encourage others to leave a tip. And, you know, something good has happened. But then, of course, all the staff are like, yay, thanks, that's great. And so it's those little wins. We're like, actually, our service was so great that someone did leave a tip. Because as you know, here in Australia, tipping's not such a common,
we don't really do that.
Such a common thing. So, you know, it's wonderful to acknowledge that, which is
it reminds me back to Legally Blonde. It actually may have been Legally Blonde 2, where she takes on Washington and they do the props when everyone, you know, when they pull out a little a love note for people and they give everybody little, you know, props. And I think even that little thing, which we look back now and think, oh, how cute is that? It's a little bit silly. But the feeling that it creates, the endorphins that it sends through somebody and makes them go, wow, you know, it creates this excitement and engagement that you can't get by just simply going, oh, good job.
Yes, that's so true. I hadn't realized that until I got my first full-time team member, rather than just working with some contractors and people that would come on for projects. But when Merlin started working with me full-time, and you know, there'd be a new client that we were really excited to be working with, or I should say I would be, but of course Merlin's along with me on the journey, which is so awesome. But she would then say, yay, congratulations, and she would really celebrate with me. And that's when I realized that being part of a team feels amazing, absolutely amazing, because it's someone to celebrate with that knows the hard bits of the business and and you know, but then is there for the joyful bits too. And then Honey joined our team, and I'll put something there in our messenger chat about and she'll be like, yes, congratulations, that's awesome. So we're all celebrating together, which feels great. So another challenge that I put out to you all today is to think about who can you celebrate the things with, from the littlest things like finishing your to-do list to getting a beautiful love note / testimonial, to anything like that, or to signing a big, enormous client, or selling a record-breaking day of product sales. Who it is that you can share that with. So if you haven't got a team, is it a family member? Is it a friend? Like, I've got a close friend that really loves to celebrate all my tiniest wins, and I with her, which is really special. So who is it for you that you would want to share that? You said for you, Jenny, that you ring your partner, which is awesome. If I rang my partner each time, he's often so distracted with things. He'd be like, good one, babe. Yep.
But I also, of course, have Andy and Bren. So, you know, the you know, Jenny, Elephant in the Room Consulting, and, you know, with my beautiful new VA, who's starting with me next week, we'll have that. She'll be working with me full time now. But then I've also got Bren and Andy, who are like my, you know, live people who come and help my events and support me through everything. And I always share my wins with them. So we're running our 3-day retreat again in February, and we've already got 2 people interested and probably signed up, hopefully by Monday, to come to that retreat in February. And so I'm sending you messages saying, hey, we've got 2 people signed up. This is amazing. We're going ahead. It's, you know, and being able to have those people to celebrate. So definitely, apart from my partner who is always going to support me, Andy and Bren are definitely my business buddies. And they're we're the trio that kind of deliver all the face-to-face elements for Elephant in the Room.
Wonderful. That's so great. And I'm super excited for you, because your last retreat was extraordinarily successful, Jenny. I had such serious FOMO.
Well, we're hoping that you can come to this one if you're.
Yeah, I hope so. As long as they don't put us back under restrictions or you
know,
another border closure or something like that. Who knows? But really, really excited for you for that. So tell everyone about, what does that treat involve?
Oh, it's a 3-day deep dive into your business. So we actually take it as an immersion mastermind. So we take you away for 3 days and we unpack your business completely. So by unpacking your business, and then we do things like set goals and plans and identify what your vision is and what your mission is, what your purpose and structure are going to be, what processes and systems that you need to support the delivery of your goals. And so you leave with some very clear actions to grow your business. And so we do it as a takeaway. There's only a very small group, 4 to 6 people are in the retreat. So it's a lot of personal connection. We work long hours, we enjoy good food and some wine, and we have great conversations that you don't get an opportunity necessarily to do in your business day to day. So by doing that, it allows us to create a very clear plan for your future, but also identify some of those blockages that you may not even realize that you have in your business. So yeah, we're running it. It's 18 to the 21st of February. We have the dates locked in, which I'm very excited about. Down in Kingscliff, hopefully. We're just confirming the venue, but it might actually be down in beautiful Kingscliff. So I'm really hoping they don't close the borders because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get there.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful. And that forward planning and that taking a step away from your business, immersing yourself in actually working on the business, not being in the business, is so fantastic.
It's so important.
I'm restructuring for next year. So I'm changing my CEO day because I found that my CEO day was always getting interrupted. So I'm changing my CEO day and I'm absolutely blocking it out, which I'm super excited with it. It's really going to help with my forward planning and working on the business direction and developing new courses and things like that. But also next week, so I have a masterclass coming up, but it's delivered in 2 half days rather than one big full day. So next Tuesday for 4 hours in the afternoon, it's all about planning your social media strategy. So not your digital marketing overall, specifically social media for 2021. And we'll be creating a plan for how you're going to go forward with it. And then the second part of it is in January. So it's 2 parts in December and in January, which I'm super excited about. So if you want to know more about that, jump onto hellomedia.team.
And that's 100% now is what people should be doing, because that planning of your social media for the new year, do that now while you're you're still excited about the year. You've had your wins before it gets into the craziness of Christmas. You definitely need to be on that workshop next week, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. And what we're going to be doing is actually having things scheduled over that Christmas period so that we don't have to think, oh, I should be telling my followers this and doing that. But, oh, I'm trying to just spend time with my family. So it's actually already going out there and you don't have to think about it.
You don't have to worry about it. I know there's some of the people watching today who are actually on that course and very excited about it. So that's going to be amazing for you.
Oh, yay. That's great.
And so where can people find you if there's still spaces for that course next week? Where can we find you to get onto that program?
Head off to hellomedia.team and on the internet and have a little explore around there. But yeah, there's a little drop down under happenings and you'll find it in there. And what about you, Jenny? How can people connect with you and find out more about your exciting retreat and all the other goodies that you offer?
So on social at Elephant in the Room AU is my social handle for Instagram and Facebook, and also on LinkedIn. But otherwise, EITRconsulting.com is my website. It has all the events that are coming up. It has all the programs that we offer, and how you can get in touch with us, and you can read some of our random thoughts in our blogs and just connect with us through there.
Awesome. Thanks, Jenny. So let's talk about next week. It'll be our last one for 2020. I'd like it to be positive into the year. And so what will be our topic for next week that we're going to chat about?
I would love next week for us to talk about how we create that customer journey and what we want to do with customer journeys for 2021 and the journey that we want to take and the importance of planning your journey for the future, so we can actually show people how they can actually build their own offerings and own connections with their customers so that they take you with them on your journey.
That is perfect. I love the way you've put that, because a lot of people call it getting them into your sales funnel. I like to think of it as a customer funnel, but particularly a customer journey. That's a really, really beautiful way of putting it.
I like the idea of a journey because you can choose where you want to go on the path and you can pop in and out on that journey when you want to. And sometimes people want to start at the end and go straight into your biggest program and jump in. Some people just like to pop in and out and sample you on the way. And so to me, that pathway and journey is the perfect metaphor, and it allows people to actually engage in an emotional way to their program and think about what their client wants to get out of their programs.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thanks, Jenny, for yet again another wonderful, fun-filled Friday morning. And look forward to seeing you next Friday. Have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. And
thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have an awesome celebration dinner tonight.
Thank you. We'll be toasting you for your birthday too.
Sounds good.
All right, great to see you. Look forward to chatting next week about our customer journeys. So I'll see you then, and thanks everyone for joining us. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
You too.